All right, what's good, everyone? Let's talk about iPhone 15 Pro Max. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is a really nice phone. It's definitely lighter than my 13 Pro Max. It's lighter than the 14 Pro Max. You can feel the difference in terms of weight. The build quality is nice, but I will say that the way that it feels a little bit like it's a premium phone, but it feels a little cheap in my hands. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the weight. Like I feel like weight sometimes feels like it's more premium when something weighs a little bit more. Maybe that's just me though. But yeah, it feels a little cheap in your hands, and with the brush size, it feels honestly almost like a plasticky texture. Like I don't know what it is. Something about it just feels kind of fake. It is a premium device, and it is a good design. I like how it looks, and it is comfortable to hold in your hand as well, especially being lighter and with the slightly curved over edges that they cough got from nothing. Nothing's been doing this since phone one, with the slightly curved over edges, brushed aluminum. Apple finally hopped on that, and it's nice. It makes the phone more comfortable in your hand. But I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed with the 15 Pro Max this year. Like the cameras are definitely better for sure, especially when it comes to like video capability, like being able to shoot in log and ProRes onto SSD and stuff like that. Those are great features, really nice, cool ability for like videography and like filmmaking when it comes to like using the iPhone. But overall, bro, I just feel like this launch is just so disappointing, if we're being really honest. Like we've seen the dynamic island on the 14 series, and yes, there is the action button, which is cool. I like the action button. Although like for some reason you can't like double tap or like press it quickly. You have to press and hold. Hopefully Apple will do something with that in the software. But there's not really too much going on. Like USB-C is great. I'm happy that iPhones are finally there. But in terms of like software, bro, like what really changed? Like when you think about the launch of the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the 15 series in general, like the port is a highlight. The port is something that people are going crazy about. Talking about I guess the material they use for the frame is something that people are talking about. Like when you really think about like this new phone that just came out, and I know this is not an Apple only problem, or it's not. I can't even call it. I know this is not an Apple only thing, but when you really think about these new phones that just came out and new features, USB-C and the frame material are the two most talked about things, and the two most like I guess hyped features, like headlining features. Like when you really think about it, like what? Like I don't know. Like it's USB-C. Like we've been using USB-C on many devices for years. iPads have had USB-C for a long time, MacBooks, whatever. Like for a port to be one of the highlights for your new phone is just crazy to me. In my opinion, I think this shows that there's not really much going on with the phone, and there's not really much to talk about with these phones when it comes to like new things, like what it offers on the plate for somebody considering buying this phone. This is, I would say, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like the phone is still going to be a good phone. iPhones are always good every single year, even if there's minimal changes. But like at the same time, when your headlining feature is that you have USB-C, a new port, like I don't know, man. And yeah, like I'm not like Samsung doesn't drop new features every single year. Google doesn't drop new features well, Google does actually. Google adds like new camera stuff, whatever, every year. But like, there's not like super crazy things happening every single year. But when you look at other brands, when there's a new Galaxy, when there's a new Z Fold series, they often upgrade the software and they add new things, new capabilities of what the phone is able to do. For example, three apps on the screen at one time, or the taskbar on the Z Fold series. There's usually a lot of things that get you hyped about like the capabilities of the phone and like what it can do. That goes into my other thoughts. The software is still exactly the same as it's been for like many years. Like yes, iOS 17 is smoother, better animations. It adds like a few different features in terms of like communicating with different devices, stuff like that. But like it's the same. Like the software hasn't really changed, and I guess that's good for people who are used to it and like who like it. But at the same time, when you're launching a new product, you're getting people hyped about like something new coming out, and the phone still performs. Like it has this new super powerful processor, the A17. It's basically a computer level processor, but the phone can't do anything. Like you can't even have two apps on the screen at the same time. I don't know, man. It's not all about multitasking and like, niche features like having a desktop UI when you plug into a monitor. It's not all about that. But at the same time, when you have a really powerful phone, you're marketing power to me. I feel like there should be more things that the phone is capable of doing with software. So yeah, my first impressions of the 15 Pro Max is that it's just not enough. Like it's a really good phone, really cool. If you're buying an iPhone for the first time today, I think you'll be happy with the 15 Pro Max. Although you could get a 13 Pro Max and still be happy. Like I think the 13 series in general, I think are just some of the best iPhones, some of the best value right now in 2023. Uh, in terms of like power, efficiency, battery life, those are great iPhones. If you get those, you'll be happy. I don't think you're missing out too much. Although I'm an advocate for USB-C. I've been waiting for Apple to do that. Now all I need is just some more features in terms of like, your everyday usage of the software. Like I need split screen. Like that's just something that I use every single day, no matter what phone I have. Unless it's an iPhone, I use split screen. It's just very useful. I use it for many different things, whether it's, calculating something at the same time as going through it, or taking notes from a website, using two banking apps at the same time, using my calendar and my email at the same time, calendar and my notes. Like there's just so many things I use split screen for and that I just need it. And floating windows, bro. Like floating windows would be amazing on an iPhone, especially with these bigger screens, slimmer bezels. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, most powerful phone and it cannot do anything. I guess that's the headline. Most powerful smartphone out there that can't do anything. Really good phone, feels nice in the hand. Cameras are decent. The action button is cool. Dynamic island is also cool. Despite what people say about dynamic island, I think it's a pretty cool feature. It has its use cases and it even enables multitasking to a higher level on iPhones that we never had before. So yeah, I like dynamic island and the screen brightness is really good. Overall, just a solid phone. But like the 13 was a solid phone. The 14 was a solid phone. Man, even the 12s were solid phones, even though I don't like the 12s. The 11s were solid phones, How many years in a row are iPhones just going to be solid phones, or really good phones when they come out, rather than like innovative, even captivating? Like I know in North America, people love their iPhones. People are going to die for their iPhones and swear by them and stuff like that, like for whatever reason. And they don't care about extra features and stuff like that. But I really think Apple needs to step up the game when it comes to software. They can do it. We've seen them do really great things. And when they do things, it's often smooth. But for some reason with the phones, they've just been like chilling, taking it easy. Like, why don't we have pro controls in the camera app for iPhones? Some of the best cameras in the industry, but we don't have pro controls. We can't manually adjust the shutter speed. Like, I don't know. These things just don't make sense in my head. But yeah, 15 Pro Max, good phone. I'm waiting for more. That's it. We out. Peace.